Okay.
We needed a vacation.
Yes.
So, and we wanted to do something warm, but we couldn't afford flying to Florida. We're in Maryland now. We couldn't afford flying to Florida
Paying for both kids.
or a cruise or going to some resort. So we're like, all right, what can we do that's like kind of summer-like? And we found out that there's a water park inside the Hershey Lodge. And so we have a bunch of footage. We'll show you different things about our trip, and we'll talk about the cost of the trip at the end of the video, talk about some do's and don'ts as well.
We're going to start off with the pool, which is actually in Hershey Lodge. We decided to stay there. It's a more, how do they call it? I said cheaper place, but they said it
Economy, or yeah, I don't know what it was. So like, you don't got money, so you can stay at this place.
Whatever, it's the cheaper place. So I decided to stay there mainly just because we wanted to have the indoor water park thing, and the kids really had a great time.
Yeah.
The next footage you'll see, it is so hard to concentrate with.
Do they go, oh, or is it, ooh, ooh?
Does it really matter when it comes to this?
I don't know.
Back to our Hershey, before I kill it. So now you're gonna see footage of the garden. I believe it's called Hershey's Garden. And with that, there's also the butterfly atrium. The atrium was a lot of fun. Our little one, Evan, he loved it. He was in awe with it. And the butterflies would come up to you, you know, they like land on you, or which Emma was.
Yeah. Our older daughter did not like the butterfly place.
She did. She thought it was pretty because there is like a way that you could stay outside of the window and you get to see everything, but the butterflies are on you. And she was happy there. She enjoyed pointing to her brother saying, oh look, Evan's happy. Oh, well, I thought I was going to talk, so I was expecting an entrance.
No, that was kind of my fade to us, Al style.
Okay. Sorry if we look tired. The kids are finally in bed, and it's like, what, 10 o'clock, and I just want to go to bed. Anyways, back to Hershey. What is it? Now we're going to Hershey World, which is pretty much the land of chocolate.
But they also have a ride inside Hershey World.
It's like a little, what do you call it? Like a little train that goes through like the story of how they make chocolate, and it was pretty interesting. We had to go back for a second time because the kids loved it, and you get chocolate at the end of the ride.
Yeah, so if you want to go twice or 10 times, go twice or 10 times.
Every time.
Also, there's a 4D movie. And the movie it's awesome. It's like this cartoon characters and they talk to you. But here's an awesome tip. So in the beginning, you wait in this like waiting room area, and there's a person who's just like kind of like interviewing people, and you think she's just kind of being friendly while you're waiting for the movie.
I thought she was boring.
But like she's going around like interviewing kids and stuff and asking them their name, asking them what they like. And so we didn't know, but actually when you get into the movie, the characters on the screen actually speak to the kids. So they actually say the name and they'll talk to the kids like, hey,
They interact with them.
yeah, hey Rachel, we heard you like ballet or whatever. So if you go, make sure you get a hold of that microphone and talk, because that means you're gonna be in the show.
Now we are going to the lights. Sweet Lights. Is that it's called? Hershey Sweet Lights?
I don't know. I forget the name. I think it was that. Yeah, I think it was.
Hershey Sweet Lights. That's the only thing really that we had to like pay to go through, but it's like 2 miles of just Christmas lights everywhere. So for the last one was, we don't have any footage for it, but it was the Hershey Museum. Emma really liked it because it gives you like this sheet that says, what is it called?
Like finding clues, like I Spy.
I Spy.
Yeah.
So she really was like looking for the stuff that was on the paper, and of course she would have us help her, so we would have to interact. But Evan was just a little lost. I mean, he was just staring at everything and hiding behind behind desks and stuff like that, but he didn't really get much from that. But we went there, and that was
It's worth
good.
checking out.
So for you guys that actually are like, all right, so how much does it all cost? You guys can
$1
tell me
million.
about it.
No, it was cheap.
Right.
Well, it wasn't cheap, right?
Yeah, it was Jinx. It was. I don't quote me. I was supposed to look this up and I didn't. You know, because I have all the time in the world with 2 toddlers at home.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything at home. Yeah.
And some meetings we had in the evening. But anyway, let's say I believe it was under $300 for the 2 nights. You would think like, oh my goodness, that's a lot. Well, for a normal hotel room, yes, but that one was a really nice hotel room, and of course you always got chocolate on the pillows. But there was tons of stuff to do because, especially the pool, of course, that was included on that. The atrium was included in that, the garden, all that you would have to pay separately if you didn't stay on one of their hotels. Negative about the trips, there was actually just one.
One, but it's a glaring negative. I mean,
especially for him.
This was
you got stuck doing
torture.
everything.
So you have to remember the time of the year that we went.
November, end of November.
But the water, it was not that warm. I mean, so I was in the water. The reason you didn't see her in the water that much because she was too cold. She stayed in the hot tub the whole time.
I used the mom card. I always take care of the kids. Let me enjoy myself in the hot tub.
And it wouldn't have been so bad. I mean, I got used to it. I mean, you just kind of have to freeze first and get numb, and then
Emma
you're fine.
was okay the whole time.
Aldarna was fine. She could stay there forever.
Yes.
Evan, poor little guy, he was shivering. I mean, like,
In my
walking around.
he
Like,
was bad. He had like purple lips, and every once in a while I would just take him out of the water and just like wrap myself around him to keep him warm.
so he can only stay in the water for like
But then
phases
he would
at a
cry
time.
because he wanted to go back in the water, but he knew it was too cold. So that was the only
So
thing.
one negative.
I think you would have a good time. We recommend it.
We give it 2 owl hoots. No.
What's the 2 owl hoots?
I don't know. It should be like more. 5 owl hoots.
I was gonna say, unless it's 2 out of 2.
Is that gonna be our official review now? Owl hoots.
Absolutely not. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.
See you in the next one.